Welcome, everyone. We're diving deep into the world of mushrooms today.
Fascinating stuff.
Oh, yeah, it is. And we're going way beyond just, the culinary stuff.
Right, way beyond.
We're going to look at a YouTube video with the mycologist Paul Stamets.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
Yeah, you know him.
I've seen some of his talks, yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, he's talking with Dr. Mark Hyman, and they go deep into how mushrooms can actually, impact human health.
Yeah, they can.
It's kind of mind-blowing.
Really is.
Yeah, we're talking boosting immunity, revolutionizing mental health treatment.
It's amazing how much they can do.
I know, right? It's like a whole secret world.
It is.
Okay, so Stamets calls mushrooms like miniature pharmaceutical factories.
That's a great way to put it.
Right. And then he calls mycelium,
Which
or
is the network of threads.
yeah, it's a network of fungal threads. He calls that a factory on a planet.
That's a bold statement.
It is a really bold statement.
But I think by the end of this video, we'll see why he says that.
Okay, so let's break it down.
Oh.
What makes mycelium so unique?
Well, first of all, you have to remember that fungi were like the first multicellular organisms on Earth
Oh, wow, really?
billions of years ago.
Wow.
They literally created the soil
The soil.
that allowed plants to evolve.
Oh, wow.
And then the plants allowed for animals like us.
That's amazing.
Stamets even says, we are the children of mycelium.
Whoa.
Like, it's really this vast interconnected network that underpins all life on land.
So we're talking like the foundation of life
Literally.
as we know it.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
it is.
So how does it work? Like, what is actually happening under our feet?
So mycelium is this living web that spreads through the soil, connecting plants and trees
Okay.
in a symbiotic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just physical support.
Oh.
Mycelium is like a communication and transportation system.
What?
Yeah, it can transfer water nutrients, even chemical signals between plants.
Like helping them thrive.
Totally.
You know, it's like a natural internet
It really is.
for the plant kingdom.
Uh-huh.
Wow, that is a great analogy.
And the scale of it is mind-boggling.
How so?
Like in a healthy forest, there could be hundreds of miles of mycelium
No way.
under a single footstep.
What?
Yeah.
Hundreds of miles.
It's constantly exchanging nutrients, information, breaking down organic matter.
That's insane.
It is.
And I read that there are like thousands, maybe millions of fungal species out there that
Absolutely.
you don't even know about.
We've only identified a tiny fraction of the fungal kingdom.
Wow. So think about like all the new medicines and materials and ways to understand life that are just waiting to be discovered.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
The potential is huge.
Okay, well, let's talk about the medicines then.
Okay.
Like how mushrooms can actually supercharge our immune system.
Okay.
I know people swear by medicinal mushrooms like reishi and chaga,
Yes.
but how do they actually work?
Well, think about it. Mycelium is constantly battling microbes in the soil, like bacteria, viruses, other fungi to survive it, has evolved an arsenal of like potent antimicrobial and antiviral compounds.
So like an ongoing arms race?
It is, yeah, happening underground.
And the mycelium's developing all these defenses
There we
that
are.
you can benefit from.
Exactly.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So one of the key players that I've heard of are beta-glucans.
Yes.
They're those complex sugars found in the cell walls of fungi. Aren't those supposed to be like really good for boosting immunity?
They are. They act like a signal to our immune system,
Okay.
activating different types of immune cells like macrophages and natural killer cells.
Those sound pretty serious.
They are serious, and then those cells are primed to fight off infections,
Oh, wow.
even destroy cancerous cells.
So it's like a wake-up call for our immune system.
That's a great way to put it.
And what's interesting is like the structure of the beta-glucan molecule
Yeah,
seems to be really crucial.
right.
Stamets describes it as a scaffolding.
Yeah, a scaffolding that can hold other beneficial compounds, making them even more effective.
So it's like each molecule is a tiny delivery system
Exactly.
for all these immune-boosting agents.
Precisely.
That's amazing.
And different mushrooms have different types and structures of beta-glucans,
Oh.
which might explain why they have such a wide range of medicinal properties.
So it's not just about eating any mushroom.
No,
Different species have different benefits.
exactly.
That's cool.
It is.
Okay. Are you ready to venture into a whole new dimension of mushrooms?
I think so.
We're going to explore the world of psilocybin,
Okay.
which is the psychedelic compound.
The magic mushrooms.
Yeah, the magic mushrooms found in certain mushrooms.
This is where the conversation gets really interesting.
I know, right?
Like, we're going to delve into the potential of psilocybin to treat a range of mental health conditions.
Yeah, they talk about how psilocybin mushrooms
Yes.
were depicted in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics.
We've heard about that.
Really? Oh, wow. So it suggests that cultures around the world have been using these mushrooms
For a long
for
time.
thousands of years
Yeah.
for spiritual and healing purposes.
It's like we're rediscovering this ancient wisdom.
It's wild.
Modern science is catching up.
I know.
Research shows that psilocybin can have profound effects on brain function,
Okay.
potentially helping people overcome depression, anxiety, addiction, PTSD.
Like a lost treasure trove of healing potential.
Really is.
How does it work?
It's complex.
Yeah.
But essentially, psilocybin interacts with serotonin receptors in the brain,
Okay.
particularly the 5-HT2A receptor.
Mm-hmm.
This interaction triggers a cascade of effects,
Okay.
leading to altered states of consciousness, changes in perception.
So it's like tweaking the circuits that govern our mood, perception, and sense of self.
That's a great way to put it.
That's amazing.
And research is showing that psilocybin can promote neurogenesis.
What's that?
It's the formation of new brain cells. This could have profound implications for treating conditions like depression.
Where there's often a loss of brain volume.
Right.
So we're not just masking symptoms.
No.
We're talking about healing the brain.
Yeah, potentially healing the brain itself.
That's incredible.
It is, and that's why psilocybin is generating so much excitement in the medical community.
Yeah, it's not just another antidepressant.
No, it's a potential game changer.
So this brings us to another fascinating aspect of psilocybin.
Okay.
Microdosing.
Yes.
I've heard a lot about it lately.
It's very popular.
Yeah. Can you explain what it is and why people are doing it?
So microdosing involves taking very small subperceptual doses of psilocybin.
Okay.
Basically not enough to trip.
Okay.
People report a variety of benefits from increased creativity and focus
Uh-huh.
to improved mood and reduced anxiety.
That sounds almost too good to be true.
I know, right?
Is there evidence to support those claims?
There's growing anecdotal evidence and some early research is starting to emerge. Stamets himself has developed what he calls the Stamets stack.
Okay, I've heard of that.
It's a microdosing protocol that combines psilocybin with lion's mane mushroom and niacin.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. Why combine those three ingredients?
Well, lion's mane is known for its cognitive enhancing properties,
Okay.
particularly its ability to stimulate nerve growth factor,
Okay.
which is essential for brain health.
Uh-huh.
Niacin is thought to enhance the absorption and distribution of psilocybin in the brain.
So Stamets is creating a synergistic blend
Yes.
that targets multiple pathways for brain health and cognitive enhancement.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating.
And he's put his money where his mouth is.
He has.
He's created a platform called Micro.me,
Yes.
which is gathering data from thousands of people.
Yes, thousands of people who are microdosing.
Wow. And the initial results are promising.
They are very promising.
Okay. I'm definitely going to have to check that out.
You should.
But before we get into like the nitty-gritty of the microdosing research,
Okay.
let's take a step back and consider the bigger picture.
Okay.
If psilocybin really does have the potential to revolutionize mental health care,
Yes.
what are the implications for society as a whole?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's one that Stamets addresses head on.
Okay.
He envisions a future where psilocybin is not just a medicine,
Okay.
but a peace molecule
A peace molecule.
that can help to heal the divisions and conflicts that plague humanity.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
It is.
Uh-huh.
Well, when you consider the profound experiences that people report on psilocybin, feelings of interconnectedness, empathy, transcendence,
Yeah.
it's not hard to see how this could have a ripple effect on society.
So like tapping into a deeper level of human consciousness.
Yes.
Where we recognize our shared humanity and interconnectedness with all things. That's beautiful.
It is.
And if we can cultivate that awareness on a wider scale,
Who knows what kind of positive changes we might see in the world?
it's pretty amazing.
It is.
I think we've only just begun to scratch the surface of what's possible with mushrooms.
I agree.
From healing our bodies to expanding our minds to potentially transforming society itself, the fungal kingdom holds incredible promise.
It really does.
And as we delve deeper into the specific research findings,
Yes.
you'll see just how powerful and versatile these organisms truly are.
I can't wait. Yeah, it's really amazing.
I know, right? Like those humble organisms, we often just kind of like ignore them.
Right, they're just there.
Yeah, but they hold so much potential.
They do.
Yeah.
It's really incredible.
It is. And to appreciate their medicinal power,
Yeah.
we need to understand the difference between the mushroom itself
Okay.
and the mycelium,
Okay.
which is the network of fungal threads that make up the main body of the fungus.
Right. So the mushroom is just the tip of the iceberg,
Exactly.
the fruiting body that we see.
Yeah.
And the magic is happening underground.
In that web of mycelium. Remember we were talking about those beta-glucans
Yeah.
and their immune-boosting properties?
Yes. Well, the concentration of beta-glucans is actually much higher in the mycelium
Oh, really?
than in the mushroom itself.
I didn't realize that. So if we want to get like the maximum benefit,
Yeah.
we should be looking at mycelium extract.
That's what the research suggests. Yes. And there's another fascinating thing. The structure of the beta-glucan molecule seems to be crucial for its effectiveness.
Okay, how so?
It acts like a scaffold,
Okay.
holding other beneficial compounds like triterpenes and antioxidants.
Making the whole greater than the sum of its parts.
Exactly.
So it's like each molecule is a tiny delivery system.
Precise.
Carrying a whole arsenal of immune-boosting agents.
Directly to our cells.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is. And this is why researchers like Stamets are so excited about mycelium.
Yeah.
It's like a vast, untapped library of potential medicines just waiting to be discovered.
It makes you wonder what else is hidden down there.
I know, right? So many secrets.
Okay, well, speaking of secrets,
Yes.
let's get back to psilocybin and its potential to revolutionize mental health care.
Yes.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around how this one molecule can have such profound effects.
I know, it's mind-boggling.
It really is.
For a long time, scientists believed that psilocybin's effects were primarily due to its interaction with the 5-HT2A receptor in the brain,
Okay.
which is involved in serotonin signaling.
So the idea was that psilocybin was basically mimicking serotonin,
Right.
leading to altered states of consciousness and mood changes.
That was the dominant theory. But recent research has uncovered something even more intriguing.
Oh, really?
What's that? So it turns out that psilocybin also binds to another receptor called TRKB.
Okay.
And it does so with 1,000 times greater affinity than FDA-approved antidepressants.
Wait, 1,000 times?
1,000 times.
That's wild. What does the TRKB receptor do?
The TRKB receptor plays a critical role in neurogenesis,
Okay.
which is the formation of new brain cells.
Wow.
And when it's activated, it triggers the production of BDNF,
What's that stand for?
brain-derived neurotrophic factor,
Oh, okay.
which is like fertilizer for the brain.
So psilocybin is boosting our brain's ability to grow and repair itself.
That's what the evidence suggests.
That's incredible. This has huge implications for treating conditions like depression, anxiety, even age-related cognitive decline.
Exactly. We're not just talking about temporary relief from symptoms.
Right.
We're talking about potentially reversing the underlying damage and promoting long-term brain health.
That's amazing. And this is where the concept of microdosing becomes even more fascinating.
Right.
Because some researchers believe that by consistently stimulating these pathways
Yes.
with small subperceptual doses of psilocybin,
Yes.
we might be able to enhance cognitive function, boost creativity, and even protect the brain from neurodegenerative diseases.
Exactly. That's the idea behind Stamets Stack.
Right.
He's combining psilocybin with lion's mane and niacin
Right.
to create a synergistic blend that targets multiple pathways for brain health.
And the initial findings are really promising.
They are.
So Stamets and his team have been gathering data from thousands of people.
Through their platform, Microbiome.
Right.
And they're seeing real improvements in mood,
Okay.
cognitive function, and even physical function.
Oh, you mentioned physical function.
Yes.
I'm curious about that. Like, what kind of impact could microdosing have on the body?
So one of the most remarkable studies that Stamets and his team conducted involved measuring psychomotor skills in people over 55.
Okay.
They used a simple tapping test where participants tap their fingers as fast as they can for 10 seconds.
So like reaction time and coordination.
Exactly. And what they found was that those who microdosed with the Stamets stack showed a significant improvement
Really?
in their tapping speed compared to those who didn't microdose.
So they're seeing measurable improvements in physical function.
That's credible, right?
Yeah.
The average number of taps increased from around 48 to 68 in just 10 seconds.
Wow.
And this improvement wasn't seen in the control group
Okay.
or with psilocybin alone.
It seems to be the combination.
The combination of ingredients in the Stamets stack that's driving these results.
So this suggests that microdosing could potentially counteract some of the effects of aging on the brain and nervous system.
That's one of the exciting possibilities.
Oh.
Of course, more research is needed
Of course.
to confirm these findings and understand the mechanisms.
Right.
But the initial results are very intriguing.
I can see why Stamets is so passionate about this.
I know, me too.
It's not just about treating disease.
No, it's about enhancing human potential and extending our healthy lifespan.
And it's a testament to the power of citizen science
It is.
and collaborative research platforms like Micro.me.
Absolutely.
It's incredible what he's created.
I know Stamets has created a way for people to share their experiences
Yeah.
and contribute to a growing body of knowledge.
Have these findings been published in any, reputable scientific journals?
Absolutely. Stamets and his team have already published 2 papers in Nature Scientific Reports,
Wow.
which is a highly respected journal.
That's amazing.
And they're not stopping there.
What else are they doing?
They're currently designing clinical trials
Oh, wow.
to further investigate the potential of the Stamets stack for conditions like Parkinson's disease.
So we're talking about potentially groundbreaking treatments for some of the most challenging neurological conditions.
It's still early days,
Yeah.
but the possibilities are vast.
That's so exciting.
It is, and this brings us back to Stamets' vision of a future where these powerful fungal medicines
Yeah.
are widely accessible and integrated into our healthcare system.
A future where we're not just treating symptoms, but actually addressing the root causes of disease and enhancing our overall well-being.
Precisely. And a future where we recognize the interconnectedness of all living things,
Yeah.
from the tiniest fungal hypha to the vast network of the human brain.
This all ties back to what we were discussing earlier about mycelium being the foundation of life on Earth.
It does.
It's this interconnected web that sustains us, nourishes us, and maybe even holds the key to unlocking our full potential.
It's a beautiful and hopeful vision.
It is.
And as we move into the final part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
we'll explore some of the practical implications of psilocybin use,
Okay.
both on a personal and societal level.
Sounds good. It's amazing to think we've covered so much in this deep dive into mushrooms.
I know, right?
From those vast underground networks of mycelium to the potential of psilocybin.
It's clear these organisms have so much to offer us.
And now as we wrap up, it's important to remember that with any powerful tool,
Yes,
there
definitely.
comes a responsibility.
Right, we have to use it wisely.
Yeah, ethically too.
Exactly. We can't just get caught up in the excitement without thinking about the risks and challenges.
For sure. And I think one of the biggest hurdles with psilocybin
Oh, yeah.
is its legal status.
It's still a Schedule I drug in a lot of countries,
Meaning?
meaning it's considered to have a high potential for abuse
Oh, okay.
and no currently accepted medical use.
Which seems kind of strange
It does.
with all this evidence for its benefits.
It's a bit of a paradox, but thankfully things are starting to change.
Oh, good.
We're seeing more of a movement to decriminalize psilocybin,
Okay.
and there are tons of clinical trials happening.
Investigating.
Yeah, its potential for treating mental health conditions.
That's great news. It feels like a big shift is coming.
It does.
But even as access to psilocybin expands,
Yes.
I think it's really important to stress responsible use.
Oh, absolutely. Psilocybin is powerful,
Yeah.
and it's not for everyone.
Right. Set and setting are so important.
They really are.
The environment, the
It
mindset.
all influences the experience.
Yeah. And that's where therapists and guides come in.
Yes, they can help people navigate these experiences safely.
Yeah. Provide a supportive space.
Right. For exploration and integration.
Exactly. Because trying to navigate those experiences alone
Mhm.
can be risky.
Especially for people with trauma or mental health conditions.
And speaking of trauma,
Yes.
we talked about psilocybin being promising for treating PTSD,
Mm-hmm.
but what about the potential for harm?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah, could these experiences re-traumatize people?
It's possible, which is why screening and support are so important.
So not everyone with PTSD will benefit.
Exactly. And for some, it could be really destabilizing.
Okay, so it's not a magic cure-all.
Right.
It requires a nuanced and individual approach.
It does.
What about microdosing?
Yeah.
Like as a form of self-treatment?
I know it's gotten really popular,
Yeah.
and it seems less intimidating than a full psychedelic experience. But I'd still advise caution.
Why? It seems like the risks would be low with such small doses.
True, the doses are small,
Yeah.
but you're still putting a psychoactive substance into your body.
Okay.
And we don't fully know the long-term effects.
Right.
And there's always the possibility of interaction with
Yeah.
medications
Okay.
or existing health conditions.
So even though it's getting popular,
Mm-hmm.
we need more research
Definitely.
to understand the risks and benefits.
Yes, and remember, just because something's natural doesn't mean it's safe.
Right. Good point.
Okay, let's talk about the wider societal implications of psilocybin.
Okay.
Stamets calls it a peace molecule.
He does.
Why?
Well, many people who've had profound experiences with psilocybin
Yeah.
talk about a feeling of interconnectedness,
Uh,
a sense of oneness with everything.
wow.
They describe a shift in perspective, less egocentrism,
Okay.
more empathy, more compassion.
So the idea is if more people experience that,
Mm?
we might see less conflict in the world.
That's the hope. Of course, it's not that straightforward.
Yeah.
One dose of psilocybin doesn't make you a saint,
Of course not.
but the potential is there for personal transformation.
To like ripple outwards.
Exactly, and create a more compassionate society.
It's a beautiful vision.
It is.
But we have to be realistic too.
Absolutely. Social change is complex,
There's so much to consider.
like access and equity, cultural sensitivity, the potential for exploitation.
Right. We don't want to repeat past mistakes.
Exactly like with indigenous knowledge and sacred medicines being exploited. So we need to make sure this movement benefits everyone.
Everyone, not just a few.
And education is key.
I agree.
Dispelling myths, promoting responsible use, having open conversations about the risks and benefits.
I couldn't agree more. Knowledge is power.
It really is.
The more we understand about these things,
Yeah.
the better equipped we'll be to navigate this new frontier.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive,
Mhm.
what are your final thoughts for our listener?
I'd say embrace your curiosity.
Yeah,
This is such an exciting time of discovery for science and for individuals.
it really is.
Learn as much as you can.
from good sources.
Yes, reputable sources. Be open-minded and always put your safety and well-being first.
That's great advice. Remember, whether you're interested in the medicinal properties or the mind-expanding potential, or even just the ecological wonders of mycelium,
Yeah.
there's a whole universe out there to explore.
And who knows what other wonders we'll find as we keep exploring fungi.
This has been an incredible journey.
It has.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of mushrooms.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep an open mind.